Your younger years are about living and falling and learning. Dump his ass. Fuck his brother, fuck his dad. I hate him. I hate him. Have so much with his father. I'm so, oh my God. And post it. Post it on your story.
What? Hey guys, we're rolling with the homies today on Not Loveline.
Not Loveline.
The podcast where you guys call this number and ask us for your advice.
Yes. Oh my God. I'm so excited.
I'm so excited. I feel like today is the day we're going to give the best advice ever.
I agree. Sometimes we were just talking about this, but sometimes you're just having a day where you want to get your mind off of your own life and your own things and your own and like, this is my favorite. Like, I love just delving into the girlies and
other people's
Yes, I don't want to think about my own anything.
Same.
I'm ready to just hear about everyone's.
That's why I love doing this podcast, because sometimes it doesn't have to be about like drama or anything. It's just like, let's just hear about your drama.
100%. That's the best. Like, even just in real life when your friends or like anyone hits you up with their own, like their tea.
Yeah.
And you're like, thank God.
Thank
like,
God, yeah.
I just need the gossip, the drama. It really does feel like a big like kiki.
I get invested. I know when someone has like drama, I'm just like so invested. I'm like, thank God. It's like.
Even these calls lately, it's like I need some people to call back. We had that girl yesterday who was like, I'm lesing, I want to les out, you know what I mean, at the sorority. And it's like, I want her to call back.
How did that work out for her? Yeah, she's asking for like tips on how to start.
I get so invested in these calls and like always want someone to call back.
Call us back always and give us a follow-up.
Yes, and Patreon. Call us, please. We need more little crazy little calls.
We love Patreon, patreon.com/notloveline. They really go hard over there. And yeah, we need crazy ones. Blow our minds by calling the same number. And I guess preface it by saying it's for Patreon. I don't know. Preface it by saying this one's crazy.
Yes, we had someone yesterday, and we've never had this before, call in and not want advice. They just told us about a hookup that they had and like some crazy shit that went down. Someone was trying to get her to bite some things and do some things. And I was like, wait, I also love the lore drops.
Oh, yeah. Same. Like, or when they're like talking about like, you know, I want to try this with one person or maybe multiple people. It's like the craziest thing. I'm like, you're going to do this multiple times.
I know. And it's so cool too. Cause like sometimes we'll get somewhere like the guy wants the girl to do something crazy. And I think it's so dope when the girl calls in and she's like, I want to pee on someone.
Yeah. We get a lot of those.
Yes, queen, work.
Love it. Just like a dog. Just lift the leg and go.
Yeah, that's so funny. Wow, I wonder if anyone with that fetish has ever done it like that.
For sure. Lift a leg, for sure.
I'll save my other thoughts on that for the Patreon.
This is our YouTube. But we want to get right into it because we have been just... The last episode was, I think I trauma dumped on you, and then I think the other one was just like us talking for like 20.
No, we were trauma dumping galore yesterday and yapping. Even right now, though, it's so funny because the way our relationship is, even right now, I want to be like, did you see Ash Trevino's new interview? And it's
I know. I want to get into. I know before we sat down. Well, I wish I would have known that. And I was like, did you see David Dobrik's underwear?
Yes.
Like, let me look right now.
No, literally, him for Hugo Boss is so funny. And the spray tan sent me. He's one of the girlies.
But he looked better in that one than the one. But yeah, for sure for the girlies.
Yeah.
Well, we don't. Yeah, this will come out in a few weeks, but you never know what can happen between now and then.
I know. Oh my God! But I need to update you on Ash Trevino.
Okay, should we do it now or do you want
to? No. I'll save it because this will come out later. And like I said, I'm sure she'll actually be in federal prison. But
you do give me the updates on it.
Her kids don't have beds. Okay.
What does that mean? Where do they sleep?
I don't know. The floor. They sleep on the floor. And she's making like $12,000
She talks about it or what?
Yes, and the kids came on the interview too, and they were saying that no accountability. It's like actually like crazy.
How does like no one step up? I mean, I think that's like a basic thing you're supposed to give your child.
A bed, right?
Yeah, like that's like sad. That makes me like sad. I guess that's why I don't like see. Yeah.
That's the thing too, is it's like people are just really bidding her and stuff, like making it a bit. And I'm like, the more that comes out, I'm like, You're just as bad as all these other awful parents on TikTok. And like, I hate seeing an awful parent.
Especially, obviously, it's like something that like triggers, but anybody should and would report it, I would think.
100%. It's just like, how do you do that? What do you mean you're raking in the Galaxy coin and buying like the ugliest bag Louis Vuitton has to offer and your child is quite literally sleeping on the floor?
Wild. I know, but that happens. Like that Ruby Frank, she was like vlogging for years about like not giving her kids like school lunches and stuff. I'm like, how did no one report this? Like,
and it's so wild too, because I always think that when people like that are comfortable with sharing that caliber of their bad parenting online, what happens when the cameras go off? And I hate your guts.
Yeah,
like no, it's quite like literally,
it ruins a child. Mm-hmm. Yeah, and it's dangerous and all of that. That's like so sad.
It's so sad. Yeah, I'm like, I can't even. People are like, have her on canceled. I'm like, no, I want her on prison.
Yeah, that.
Like, you know.
Yeah. No, that actually is like so extreme. That's like a whole other level of
Yeah, and the girl who was interviewing her, it was one of the Bop House girlies, and she actually did like a really great job and like wasn't laughing along with her and was like clearly pissed, and like I think it was a really good interview. I was like, damn, okay, like multi-talented queen.
But it should end in like a Chris Hansen type thing where like she like goes somewhere. You know what I mean?
Normalize things ending in a Chris Hansen type of situation.
There's like an interview, but then also police are in the garage.
Yes. Why does that never happen?
I don't know. It is crazy. People get like in trouble for way worse and
bring back
or way less
Chris Hansening people.
Yeah, he stopped. Devin is saying that there's a documentary coming out. You saw it at Sundance? You were at Sundance?
I watched the online screener.
Oh, I love that. Saw an online screener about To Catch a Predator. But people are saying it's bad, like they're documenting like this was bad because people unalived themselves, but the predators were unaliving themselves, which in a way I don't think is bad.
I don't think that's bad, but I could see there being some malintent there. Like I think all of those 2000 shows, like even there was a documentary on Netflix that I watched recently about Jerry Springer. Did you see that?
No.
You should watch that.
That's wild you watched that. Like I haven't heard anything about Jerry Springer in so long.
Me either, but I just like obviously know all the lore, and there was a point in time where it was like a cultural phenomenon. It was doing numbers like Oprah. You know what I mean? And like was the craziest straight up people fist fighting on stage. Like it was like borderline UFC for like the day drunk moms, you know, and like all this just came out about all the that was happening on set.
What were they saying?
I mean, it was just like what the show consisted of making the producers do to get these people on. And obviously like, I mean, the entire premise also was just like all television really. Like there was no further therapy. They didn't care about the people at all. A woman ended up getting murdered by a man who was like abusive on the show, and they just aired it and obviously didn't do anything. And like Jerry Springer, obviously he, you know, just like every man in Hollywood, once they get famous, gets caught up doing all the glucking and
you know, I didn't know that.
Yeah, you should watch it. It was really interesting. There wasn't like one major insane takeaway. Like it just the whole thing was obviously like kind of a corrupt operation, which I could imagine To Catch a Predator being as well, you know.
Yeah, I guess in that sense it's more a little bit more innocent people who are just messed up. They're like taking advantage of. As opposed to like predators are like predators. They probably should get the worst, right? Like if you're trying to meet up with a child.
Similar to both shows that I've learned now watching the Predator one is like these are people that made one mistake in their life and it's now broadcasted for everyone to see, and like they don't think they can come back from that mistake.
I don't think a predator can.
Yeah, a predator definitely should never. I think one is enough. Like absolutely, a child. I mean, that's different. Like there's two grown adults and there's like that's then you're just manipulating.
Can come back from that.
Yeah, that's like
people can come back and grow, and it's like, and obviously even in the situation of predators, you hope that they go get all the help in the world and, you know, never do anything like that again. But at the same time, like if you're telling me a predator croaked, I'm not shedding a tear.
I literally don't care at all. Like if it's like a child, like you're hurting a child, 100%, like devil,
100%.
Everything else is
demon on earth. Like how do you do that?
No, I think there's like no sympathy for that. That's why I like don't mind that so much. I kind of liked it because it's like, as they should, as they should.
I definitely didn't do it justice. You have to see it, but like they try to humor. Like this one specific guy, he sounded nice. Like when you're hearing him talk, he sounded like a good person. He just had an issue clearly.
I mean, but then it's like I think once those issues arise, as an adult, as crazy as the issues are, and you don't want people to know, your adult duty is to go to therapy before you act on it. Same as issues with murder. You know what I mean? Like if you want to be a serial killer, your adult diligence is to go therapize yourself so you're not a serial killer. Same thing with a predator. It's just like nuts.
A child, then you just like ruin it because something probably happened to them, and then they're going to do it to another person.
Yeah, which is also just so sad. You know, like it is just like a thing. And I mean, that's a whole conversation about how the mental health space for people like that isn't as maybe as big and helpful as it could be.
Yeah.
And normalized as it could be. You know, I've been watching Dexter even, and this new season of Dexter is about him as a child and his dad kind of navigating like, my son wants to be a killer. And it's been provoking all these thoughts in my mind, like how crazy that would be if you had a kid and your kid was showing signs of that. It's got to be obviously the most heartbreaking thing in the world.
Well, I guess it's like Michael Myers. They sent him to like an asylum as a kid, and they just like stay there, and he just like broke out later on.
You'd have to. I was having this conversation with a bunch of my friends. Like, it's so interesting. Like, what would you do if that was your kid? You know, and people have different takes. Like, I would send my kid away 100%, but it would be the most heartbreaking thing ever.
Of course. No, I think for anyone,
but a lot of people wouldn't.
Right. Like, what was it? What was his name? Brian. You remember Gabby Petito and Brian and the parents? Yeah, Brian Laundrie. Like they like basically hit him in the house and like, and I was thinking about that too when that was happening. I was just like, it's just
and if my son the girl, you know, it's like I'm not being complicit. I don't know. Obviously, it's probably much more layered emotionally, you know, like in that moment, being that parent. But like, still, it's just.
I know. I always ask Moses, like, is like something like that happen? I was like, do we like run together? Do we go to like, where do we go? Like, I don't know. It's just like such a weird.
It's one thing if someone's someone in self-defense or the person did something up, like it is like anecdote or situational. But yeah, if it's just some up shit, it's so wild. How did we get here?
I don't know. Dude. I never get here only with you. I feel because you love like the true crime of it all and stuff, and I'm just like so not. And then I get scared, and I'm like, oh my God, this is so scary. But
even yesterday, we like went on this whole deep dark tangent about our traumas. We just so do that. Dark. We're comfortable with each other over here. Honestly, I think that's what it is.
That is. I know. It gets like really.
I know. Anyways. Like hello, rainbow, sunshine, not
We're
Loveline.
Not true crime.
Yes, at all. Like.
We give advice, but not about hiding
crime.
Bodies. Yeah,
Jesus. Let's take a caller.
Yeah.
Today is my 20th birthday, and I want your opinion on if you could.
She's edging me.
Give your 20-year-old self advice. What would it be?
Oh, today's not getting much happier.
She said 20-year-old
If
advice.
you could give your 20-year-old self any advice, what would it be?
Oof.
Wow.
Yeah.
Oh, y'all. Strap in.
That's a tough one.
It's funny. We were kind of talking about that yesterday. Like, I've been thinking about that a lot lately.
Like, yeah, I wonder, like, advice is, like, we know what's going to happen. So be like, don't worry, girl. Just get through your 20s. It's going to be fine. Or give her something that's going to, like, change her 20s for her. Like, help her out.
Yeah. Have you seen that movie? It just came out. It's with Aubrey Plaza. And I love Aubrey Plaza.
Love her too.
It's called My Old. And you should watch it. You would love it. You would love it.
Okay.
But it starts, the premise of the film, it starts with this like 19, 20-year-old girl, and she takes mushrooms with her friends, and all of her friends are kind of just tripping balls normally, and then her older self shows up. And then they sit around this campfire, and she's talking to her older self, you know, like they have the same tattoos and scars and whatever, but it's two different people. Ooh. And it's actually the ending. It's a sad movie. I don't want to like spoil it for you. The ending's sad, but
well, I love a spoiler. You can spoil it.
I'll spoil it for you. But
and then spoiler
essentially, she's telling her older self. Sorry, everyone. I'm going to spoil it, but
skip 2 minutes.
She's telling her older self to stay away from this guy. She's telling her younger self, stay away from this guy, stay away from this guy. And she had just met the guy. And then they start to kind of fight about it. She's like, but I like him. He makes me happy. I don't know what to do. You know what I mean? She's like, you have to stay away from this guy. And that's the whole movie. You're trying to figure out why. And the guy seems amazing and whatever. And towards the very end of the movie, the older self tells her he dies. And that's why, oh my God, it makes me want to cry.
The older self tells, he dies.
Yes. Like, is saying like, I'm telling you to stay away from him because he ends up dying.
Oh.
And it's so... It had just had me in this whole existential. I thought it was going to be a before bed movie and I'd go to sleep, and I stayed up for like 3 hours thinking, because I've had experiences like that in my life. Like, would I go back in time and tell myself that person dies? Like, do you know what I mean? Like, or and the younger girl comes to the conclusion of like, I'm just going to enjoy every single day with him.
Yeah.
In case I lose him no matter what, even though I know that.
I think that's the better. I think if I knew I had 5 years with Moses, but he would like die after that. I would take the 5 years of just being so happy. Otherwise, like, you don't even know that happiness. Like, I would go my whole life without knowing love. Even if it was like a year, I would take the year for sure. If you're like, hey, don't fall in love with him, you can die in a year. It's like, I'd rather have that full year of like being happy.
I agree. And so that kind of provokes the thought of, if you went to see your younger self, would you stop her from making all of the mistakes that she made? You know, like, would you?
I feel like that's different because being in love is like happy. So it's like, be in love. You're going to have sadness, but that's part of life. Yeah, but stop making mistakes. For sure I would. Oh, for sure I would. I wish I could like tell my younger self, like, even my 30-year-old self, don't do OF. You know what I mean? Like, 20-year-old self, like, don't go on the street and like sell your body. You know what I mean?
But
like
the butterfly, I guess, yes, there are certain things. But even like the butterfly effect to me is so real, where it's like, what if you tell your younger self to not do that one thing, and then like, because you didn't do it, you never met Moses?
Well, no, absolutely
like
that. I do think everything happens for a reason, for sure. But if we could like make it better, that's what I was wondering in the question. I'm like, do we tell them like advice from where we are now, or advice on like how to change the course of their life if there was no butterfly effect?
I know. You know what I mean?
But I agree. Everything like leads you to where you're supposed to be.
I agree. That's the thing, is I think I've come to the conclusion that I wouldn't change much. Like, your younger years are about living and falling and learning and stuff. I mean, I think it's like I would just want to give myself more grace. Like I would almost literally want to give my younger self the biggest hug and be like, you are quite literally doing your best with the cards you were dealt, you know?
Don't you think, I feel like you had, I don't know, I didn't know you had 20, but if it seems like you had such a good head on your shoulders, like when I was watching CannaCon, it seemed like you did give yourself grace, no? You think you were hard on yourself?
I think I was so hard on myself.
Really?
And I think I did make a lot of mistakes, but I wouldn't change them, you know? Like,
yeah.
And even at that time when I would make mistakes, I would just beat myself up about it so much, or even just all the people I thought I was in love with. And
well, that's a whole different story.
Yeah.
I'd be like, don't go with that person, that person, that person. But
yeah, but then I look and now I'm like, if I didn't experience every single one of those, I don't know if I'd be where I am now. And like, I don't know if I would. Loving yourself is so weird. Like, I'm finally at a place in my life where I do love myself and I'm like proud of myself and like whatever. So it makes me have so much grace for all of those things.
But we were talking beforehand, and like I feel the same way you do, is like all those horrible relationships though like gave us trauma in current relationships where we know we're like sounding crazy if we say
That's
it.
true.
So it's like I think normal people just don't have those thoughts. They don't jump to the conclusions we jump to where like
That is true.
It ruins a relationship basically. You know what I mean?
That is true.
I think it's like, yeah, you can't change it, but I mean there relationships for sure. I'd be like, don't do it with this person. You know what I mean? Don't go.
I do get that, and I like battle with that. But then I'm also like, if I didn't make those mistakes then, would I just make them now? You know
I
what
don't know.
I mean?
I think there's a lot of like normal people that just
Slay.
know like
I know.
their worth. You know what I mean?
Right. Let her cook. You're
Yeah.
right about that. You are right about that. I don't know. I think I'm like, not, I want to say like a lost cause in the sense that I think I would have never, me personally at least, been the normal. You know what I mean?
The upbringing. So that's the question then, like you to yourself, like with your parents, what would you tell that girl who's like, the parents are neglecting, not taking you to the dentist, not like being there for you? Like, what do you tell that girl?
I was thinking about this the other night, really in Vegas. I was staying up thinking about it for a long time because I saw that TikTok trend I was telling you. And it's crazy because I do think I would tell my younger self, like, eventually they're going to be dead to you and that's going to be okay.
So just
like,
get
you
through
know,
it.
Yeah, like eventually this will all work itself out in the way, because I was just in so much pain for so long. You know what I mean? Like so much pain, trying to hold on to these people, trying to change these people, trying to make them love me, trying to, you know what I mean? Like just do that. And like, oh, I feel so bad for that girl. And like, she couldn't fathom the, like, you know what I mean? I think that me really thought they would be in my life forever, you know? And that was almost like a sad thought to me. Because I was like, damn, is this what forever is? And like, you know what I mean? I would love to show that younger girl like how it is with Amari's family on the holidays and you know, and
like
that,
it's not forever.
Yeah, and
you can
like,
choose your family.
Yeah, and that eventually I would use all of that as such a driving factor to like be a good mom and build a beautiful family, and that you know what I mean. Like I wouldn't, because theoretically, if I ended up just letting it break me down, I would have never broken the generational curse, you know? And then I would be just like them, which was always my worst fear.
And then you're like the opposite. What?
Yeah.
Thank you to SeatGeek for sponsoring this episode of Not Loveline. I love SeatGeek so much. For those hard to find tickets, go to SeatGeek. When those tickets sell so fast, Bad Bunny in Puerto Rico, go to SeatGeek to find the best deals, the best seats. Get those tickets because you deserve them. Maybe you didn't have time to wait in line. Maybe you forgot. Maybe you just saw Bad Bunny on SNL and you're like, damn, I need to go see him. Whatever the case is, SeatGeek has you covered. With over 28 million downloads, SeatGeek is the #1 rated ticketing app. There are more than 70,000 events listed on SeatGeek, including concerts, sports, festivals, and more. Right now, you can get tickets to Kendrick Lamar and the SZA Tour, Tyler, the Creator, Shakira, Chris Stapleton, Katy Perry, Morgan Wallen, Post Malone, Katy Perry, I'm coming, Tate McRae. Those tickets, okay? She went from the Greek to the Forum. So if you want to find the best deal, go to SeatGeek. SeatGeek has your back because each ticket is rated on a scale of 1 to 10, so you know you're getting a good deal. Look for the green dots. Green means good, red means bad. They know it, okay? SeatGeek knows. You want to keep it simple? They got you covered. Plus, every ticket is backed by SeatGeek's buyer guarantee. And you know I came through for you guys. You can use code NOTLOVELINE10 for 10% off your next set of tickets at SeatGeek. That's 10% off any tickets with promo code NOTLOVELINE10. Make sure you click the link in the description to download the app and have the code automatically added to your account so you can use it later. Thank you so much, SeatGeek. We love you. We love you for sponsoring this podcast, and we love you for just giving us great deals. SeatGeek. Tried, true, and tested. Thank you, SeatGeek. Is there anything done for kids now in situations like that where their parents are not necessarily like, well, maybe, I don't know, but like, what do they do if a child is in that situation now?
Nothing. And I think that that's why I am so passionate about. I don't speak up enough about it, honestly, but about narcissistic, because there isn't, my parents were abusive slightly and very emotionally abusive and very financially abusive, and all of it was just a mind though.
It's like even neglectful.
Even Ava Louise lately has been making TikToks about the narcissistic from her mother, and I'm like sitting there commenting on everyone, reposting them, because I'm like, I know so many people are in that situation, and there isn't anything that you can do because they present as decently normal parents, and it doesn't teeter the lines of the law always, and it's
crazy. You can't run away.
Yeah, exactly. And like they want nothing more than to have that control over you. And to like, when you turn 18, that's a narcissistic parent's worst nightmare.
Because why?
Because like, they no longer can control you. Like, and to them, you're not your own human being with your own feelings and thoughts. You're an extension of them and a pawn. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And like a chess piece in their game. And so it's like, I don't know. And I don't know if there will ever really be an answer to that, because it's
so...
Yeah.
There's nothing that can be done about it, which is like,
yeah.
what? Like the TREVINO thing, like you said, it's like, I mean, what? I mean, something should be done, but can you take the child away because they don't have a bed?
Yeah.
I would think, because like when you want to adopt a child or foster a child, they like look for those things, I
think that more hits the line of like neglect, so it can, you know what I mean? But obviously she's clearly narcissistically abusing them as well. And it's like, at least now I think, because I didn't really understand why my parents were the way that they were until I was much older. And at least now it's like, there is TikTok and there is, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like just things that like I think I would have known what was up like a lot sooner if I was in today's generation, which, you know what I mean?
Social media, more people talking about it.
Yeah. And like even just learning about no contact, it took me like so much digging on what people with parents like mine do.
Right.
And unfortunately, that really is one of the only answers. And like no contact, Reddit quite literally saved my life. Like,
is there like a whole thread
yes,
for it?
of people who literally just talk about that. Like I can't talk to my parents and I don't and whatever. And like, it's, I'm just happy that there's more information on it. I think
No, it's important. And I think like you have such a good like platform to talk about it because you've like been through it. I think you don't, I don't really know that aspect of you really. And I think that's like so. And
I should just be talking about it more. And even like Brooke has a very similar situation and we talk about it. And it's narcissistic personality disorder is one of the saddest to me, I think, because there's not a lot of cures for it. There's not a lot of, the person is quite literally chemically incapable of taking accountability or feeling empathy for your situation, which is like.
And it's so hard to like probably diagnose because they're probably not going to a doctor to listen to them say that. And they probably don't believe it. And
their brain is going to say the doctor's crazy and you know what I mean? I'm perfect and I'm whatever. And that it's sad for them as well because those people end up usually losing a lot of people they love and but it's wild.
Out there.
Yeah.
So advice to 20-year-old Tana is you wouldn't change a thing because you said butterfly effect.
Yeah, I really would just like give that girl a big fat hug and say everything will work itself out and get better. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And just continue to stay on the path. But give yourself more grace.
That's a good one.
I
would tell my 20-year-old self to stay out of work. And I'm not trying to dog the sex industry, but to this day I have like demons. I wake up in like night sweats thinking about it. Like, like what, it's like really weird. It's something I never like. I liked it at the time for years, and I'm just like, damn, I really wish I wasn't out there. Not even like the digital footprint. It's even just like stuff I did when I was like 18 and just like, I don't know. It's just like a lot. And I'm just like, damn, I wish I wasn't doing that. I think that like PTSD more than anything has come up. So
you're right though on that. Like even just like drugs, I would go back and be like, maybe do a little less drugs.
Definitely.
Right.
That's great advice.
There are things that you feel that way about. It makes me so sad that you feel that way though, because like I truly, the woman that you are is so fucking incredible in every facet. And like, I know everything happens for a reason isn't going to cure the night sweats.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? But like, I just hope you know that you today are perfect to me and so fabulous. So even if that was like a part that ended up bringing you here and making you who you are and stuff, like,
Thanks.
Like,
the drugs for sure. I'm scared of my children. I'm just like, I used to be kind of like chill about it, but I'm like now with like all that Let's not do drugs.
Dude,
it's too scary these days.
Couldn't agree more. I had this whole conversation with someone at the poker tournament about that like in the 80s, everyone was doing coke or taking pills or whatever. And like, yes, it was bad, but those drugs were those drugs, right? Like they weren't like now in today's climate, it's like, like in the 80s, someone could take a bump and then never do it again. And it's kind of like, you know what I mean? Like, whatever. It's kind of like getting really hammered or doing, but now it's like one bump can literally kill you.
Oh my God, it's the scariest thing in the whole world. So that would be my biggest advice is don't do drugs. It sounds so silly, but like even like, did you have DARE classes? Yeah, and I remember they're like, just say no. And I was like, okay, this is like so silly, but it's like, the seriousness of it all.
I didn't listen at all. I think I was leaving DARE like ready to smoke for the first time, and it is just like wild.
This is a play at. I mean, that's pretty.
Yeah, but even like it's so funny because for so long I would die on the hill that I didn't think weed was a gateway drug.
You think it is?
And for some people, I don't think it is at all, right?
Yeah.
But for people like me, I think it introduced me to the world of being numb and leaving my headspace. You know what I mean?
So you're like, what else can I do to get this?
Yes, and you know what I mean? And now I smoke and don't do anything else.
Yeah.
And like, I think you can have a healthy relationship with it. But when I look back to my younger years, eventually it was like, what's stronger than weed?
That's so interesting because like my parents would always say that. She was like, it's the gateway drug. And you're just like, okay, it's you know what I mean? But then, but you're like, it was for me, so I guess it could happen.
Think with people like me, right? You know what I mean? Like, I don't think that's for everybody, but I think it's like, eventually I got to, and I think it's like, I even ever smoked for the first time because everyone was doing it. So then that becomes normalized in every facet. Like the amount of years of my life, I was on so much Xanax because everyone was doing it.
And that one seems very safe because you're like, I get it from my doctor. And it's just fine. And
and then I look back and it's like, I don't remember an entire year of my life.
Yeah, same. It's actually like, that's also scary, all of it. But.
And just the actions on Xanax because like you wake up the next day and you are still feeling it.
Oh my God, it just like doesn't get out of your system ever. I was on it for like a full year in like 2020 for sure.
And it's one thing, like even now I'll take it occasionally or take it in very small doses to actually alleviate anxiety, but abusing that, like it's like, oh my God, girl, one last bar, please.
Yeah, I think I just like would take one and it's like, so I don't even do like Dayquil. I just like don't want anything because I just know myself. I'd be so like addicted to it. So
I know I have such an addictive personality. It's
maybe that's why I have the night sweats because I'm finally like not on any like Dayquil or I used to love Dayquil and NyQuil. I used to be like taking it all the time.
Yeah,
and I haven't done it in like a few months, and I'm just like, I'm feeling everything.
You're raw dogging every emotion. That's the hardest.
Yeah.
It's like I've had periods of because now I smoke. And I'll take the occasional Xanax and stuff, but I've had periods of life where I truly was just
feeling it
stone cold. And Jesus Christ, you realize how many demons you have.
That's what I'm saying. When it comes to light, you're going to just like, oh my gosh, but
it's
I'll work through them. All right.
I know we are.
That's good advice. That's good advice. So everything's going to work out, and don't do drugs.
it'll be what you want it to be.
Yeah.
What? Get a credit card?
What is that?
Oh my God, that's actually so true though too. I'd be like, girl, stop buying.
Get a credit card or don't get a credit card.
Build your credit. Like, oh my, I was so financially misled for a very long time, and luckily I also always lived with fear that it would go away. So I worked very hard. Yeah, you know what I mean. So it's not like detrimental, but like the financial, like no one taught me. You know,
I was broke so many times and made so much money, and I was just like broke. I was like Monopoly. I was just like bankrupt, go straight to jail, do not collect $200. Like that was me for like 2 years cycle.
Do not pass go. Yeah, I couldn't agree more. It's like,
but the credit card, that's a good one to build credit. We love, but I had like 10 credit cards at 18 and I had the worst credit. I had like 400 credit because I would take out the $500 credit cards and just like never pay them back. I'm like, well, whatever.
Yeah. Oh my God. And it's like
my credit was tanked.
And you don't need a Dior raincoat. You know what I mean? You don't need Chanel chaps.
That's
you don't
the
need
advice.
Yeah, oh my God, you don't. Oh my God,
you don't need them.
Oh my God, you don't need to go to the Versace mansion monthly. Like you saw it. Like, oh my,
I would like to go once. That'd be fun.
That's what you saw it. Like, oh my, you don't live there. You're not Gianni Versace. Go home, back to work, diva. Okay.
Yeah, financially responsible is definitely a big one.
That one took me. It took me longer than it would take most. But again, cards I was dealt. You know.
Me too. Oh my God, I'm still learning. I'm like barely now just figuring out how to how we save money.
Same. Saving money is so lame.
It's so hard. It's so hard.
And it's like I battle so hard with the you have one life.
Yes.
And the I
could die tomorrow. Let's go to VIP Disney.
Yes. Literally 100%. Yes.
Yeah. A balance.
Yeah, it has to be a balance. It's like treat yourself and still hold that. You can die tomorrow, but also like you don't need that Chanel app.
You could live to
Chaps.
90, so.
Yes, quite literally. And
We'll
like,
be doing this at 90 because we're like, we got to pay off the
I
credit
know.
card.
Well, I'm gonna be like, I need a bedazzled Louis Vuitton walker, like, you know, and it's like, oh my god.
Same.
Oh, next question.
Our one
please.
question.
Yeah.
Hi, Trisha. Hi, Tana. I love you guys so much. So recently I got diagnosed with stomach cancer, and me and my boyfriend the day before, we had been talking about taking a break. So I had to go in to get some more testing done and just to confirm the diagnosis. Good news, I am cancer-free. It was a mistake. I'm probably suing. Anyway, I went on my boyfriend's phone, and I found a text message between him and his friend where he was talking about taking a break with me, whatever, and one of his messages said, I can't break up with her if she has cancer. Or I can't break up with someone who has cancer, with skull emojis. So what do you think about that? I think that was completely disrespectful. I confronted him about it, and he said that it was just a misunderstanding, and he said it's true. I can't break up with someone who has cancer. So let me know what I should do because I just thought it was really disrespectful. Okay, love you. Bye.
That was such
Trisha?
a whirlwind.
Trisha, cover your ears. Everyone in this room, cover your ears. Oh my god. Sorry.
Wait, tell me the reaction.
I have said this so many times on Not Loveline. I have said this so many times on Not Loveline. Dump his ass. Fuck his brother, fuck his dad. I hate him. Have so much with his father. Oh my god. And post it. Post it on your story.
What? That is the craziest. Wait, what triggered it? What made it? I was kind of like, not that bad. I mean, I get it. Tell me.
The skull emojis is what triggered it. And I understand that an emoji can be one of two things. Like, you know, an emoji can just be a fun, silly. But obviously skull emoji means, you know, like I'm dead, haha, funny. Like I'm joking with my boys. If I had or thought I had cancer and I found Makoa saying I can't break up with a girl who has cancer, skull emoji, skull emoji, skull emoji with his boys, I'm not even going to finish my sentence with what I would do. But he's not a good man, Savannah. Like it's just I don't know.
I don't know. I kind of think it's like kind of nice that he's like, I can't break up with her. She has cancer.
No, but you have to take in the emojis as context. Like he's like laughing about it.
I guess I look at it like my mom will send me like a clown emoji when she thinks something's funny, but it looks like she's calling me a clown. Like she'll be like, you know, clown. And I'm like, oh my God, that's like so rude. But then she's like meaning it in like a cutesy, like funny way.
I get that with a mom, but not with a 20-year-old man. Like you know what I mean?
No,
Like,
but Moses will do it sometimes, like something serious, and he'll put like the water squirt emoji. But he just means like, you know, I'm like showering you with praise. It's like what he says, but it's like, no, but that's like a squirt. Why are you saying it?
So cute.
Like if I'm really sad, he sends like a squirt one as if like here, like I'm here to shower you with like love. But it's like that's a squirt. It'll be something so serious, like I'm so sad, I'm so depressed, whatever, and he's just like squirt. So I guess like also don't know his
that
age.
makes sense. Like
It's like, don't stay with me if you feel bad for me.
Yeah, and then there's also that. Even just the context to the boys joking around. It's like you can have that thought. That's a thought. Some text should be a thought. And like,
I respect him for not breaking up with her because she has cancer. I mean, that would be kind of hard, right?
That's true. But it's like if your only thought is that you can't do it because like just the whole connotation of the emojis, it's like I would want someone who wouldn't even think to say those words.
Sure.
You know, to like, because it's like, fuck you. Like if you, and maybe I'm just a little more like on my serious and like hating men side today and like whatever. No, I'm so happy you're cancer free. And I think that God showed you that text for a reason because now you know who you are with. And I already told you what I think you should do, girl. I think his homie should run a train on you.
Why?
Yeah, cancer free. Oh my God, I'm cancer free. That would actually be me, and that's my truth.
I love it. Okay,
I'm sorry.
That's sound advice. I think it's sweet, but now that you are cancer free, yeah, you could probably get rid of him now.
It's just
Like
the
you were
skull
the
emojis.
cancer. Yeah.
Yeah, because it's like,
Skull emoji's got it for you.
yes.
I think you're gonna dump me. I have cancer.
Yeah,
That's
for
true.
sure.
And you'd
yeah.
want the person to stay with you and stuff. But like, actually imagine if I came to you, Amari,
so would.
and I was like, Makoa's laughing with his boys.
Yeah, it's
But
wild.
then now I'm thinking about our group chat.
Like you and I to each other would so be like, think we're gonna dump someone with cancer. Like,
But the skull emojis.
I feel like I could see you
Even
doing
in writing, like say it over the phone.
Yeah, say it over the phone is a good one. But there was an actor, Stanley Tucci. Do you know him? He's like in all the Devil Wears Prada. He's always like a gay guy in movies, but he's not gay. His wife had cancer, and he like of like 10 years or 15 years, and he like left her for Emily Blunt's sister, and passed away. But it's like, geez, like I get it if you're having problems, but also like stick it out. You know what I mean? Until they're cancer free.
Yeah, it's hard.
I think it's worse if they leave you. The skulls, yes, a lot, but
You know what I do want to think about though for a second at the same time. Okay, imagine you are with a guy and you get diagnosed with cancer and you guys were about to take a break before your diagnosis. And now obviously that does provoke, God, this episode's dark, but
I know.
provoke existential thoughts of what if I only have a short amount of time left? I don't necessarily know if I want to spend it with someone that I was already going to break up with.
right, like you mutually thought to break up.
Like, of course, having someone there for you is amazing, but like, I almost would rather go see the world and maybe
Yeah.
meet someone amazing to spend the time with and like rely on my people who really do love me and like I love back, you know?
Yeah, I see that side. I think I'm so weak because I was thinking about that too with like cheating, right? Like if like Moses cheated, I'm like, I would probably stay together while the kids are so young because like I need it. I need that support. So with the cancer, I'd probably be the same way. I'm like, I need you to help me get up. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, but I love that idea more. I love just being like, F you. I'm gonna just like live the rest of my life how I want to.
Yeah.
But I'm so miserable alone. So it is. I'm like, I'm probably the hot take here. You're probably in the right that people would agree with because I agree with that too. But I just know
I
I'm pretty
understand
weak.
both sides though, because
Yeah.
it's also like all of those emotions that you're expressing right now are so valid and heavy.
Yeah.
You know, it's like going the other way also hurts so much. Like, you know?
Yeah. It'd be like one thing, I guess, if he's just like actively cheating and just like, okay, we're going out to cheat. Bye. I'll be back for the kids. I'll be like, okay, then at that point. But
Yeah.
yeah, it's tough. And the cancer, I mean, I couldn't even imagine. I can't even
And being
imagine.
forgiving is also important. And like, I understand that too. But
Yeah.
me personally though, even if I stayed with that man with the skull emojis, I would just be such a, forgive me, Jimmy, such every single day. Like just.
Rightfully so.
Because I'd be like, oh, you think this is funny. Okay, bet.
you need to like be with someone necessarily either. Like you could like still like take your break and it's like, oh, maybe he still really cares about her. And it's like, okay, I want to be here for you. 'cause
Yeah.
I do care about you a lot, but like we don't need to be together.
Amari
Yeah.
ate with that too. Like, you know what I mean? Because that's what I think I would do if like I was gonna break up with someone and then they had a really bad health diagnosis, but we were already gonna break up and like whatever. If there was a world where we didn't end up staying together because of it, I would still be a very great friend to them.
Yeah, because you care.
Yes,
That's a good
100%. And like hopefully his true colors, I'm happy she's cancer free, but like had his true colors shown, maybe then he could have been a great friend to her. But I think you deserve better, Diva.
I think that was George Lopez's wife. I think he cheated on her. They got a divorce or something like that. And then he needed a kidney and she like donated her kidney to him.
Yeah.
And I think he like, yeah. So I mean, it's like you cheat on her, all this stuff. And he's just like, I'll still give you a kidney. You know?
Yeah. And there are even people that have done me really wrong, but like I would still.
Give a kidney.
No.
I don't know who
friends
I'd
with.
give a kidney to in my past. I don't think anybody.
Anyone who I would give a kidney to from my past would just like directly start abusing the kidney. Like, you know what I mean? Like, just like they would.
They need another one.
Yeah, like they would need like 6
two.
more. So,
No.
yeah.
All right.
Oh my God.
That was a good one.
Well, I don't know. There are actually whatever. Next question.
Yeah. All right, you guys. Finally, the sponsor you've all been waiting for. It makes so much sense here on Not Loveline. Adam and Eve finally came through. Okay. You know, we talk about everything love, relationship, intimacy, how to spice it up. Well, let me just tell you, for the best intimacy you ever had, go to adamandeve.com. It's really fun. Whether it's by yourself, with your partner, someone new, a stranger, toys can make everything just a little bit more exciting. So if you're looking to put a little more passion into the passionate times, look no further than adamandeve.com. Adam and Eve is offering 50% off just about any item right now, plus free shipping, which includes rush processing when you use the code NOTLOVELINE. More than that, Adam and Eve wants to make your life easy. They offer discreet shipping so no one has to know. The packaging comes in a little brown box. The return label is just their little address. Okay, no nosy neighbors, roommates, family members need to know what you're doing in your private time, okay? So don't be scared. Shop Adam and Eve. And don't wait. Your better love life is just a click away. 50% off one item with code NOTLOVELINE plus free shipping and rush processing. What more could you ask for? Bring more pleasure and satisfaction into your bedroom. Just go to adamandeve.com and select any one item. It could be an adventurous new toy or anything you desire. There's also really fun games. There's cute little dress-up outfits. There's stuff you didn't even know you needed. You're just like, maybe I'll check that out. Just enter offer code NOTLOVELINE at checkout. That's Not Loveline, NOTLOVELINE at adamandeve.com. This is exclusive offer specific to this podcast, so be sure to use the code NOTLOVELINE to get your discount. 100% free shipping and get it fast with rush processing. Code NOTLOVELINE. We love you, Adam and Eve. Y'all know we love to spice things up. Sometimes you need more than just a human touch, okay? And not AI. We need something physical, okay? We need something that just requires a little USB charge up. And that's Adam and Eve. We love it. Don't let your love life suffer. Go to adamandeve.com today and use code NOTLOVELINE for your 50% off. Love you, Adam and Eve.
Hi, girls. I love you both so much. I wanted to know what would you guys do? I feel like every time there's a conflict between my boyfriend and I'm always so quick to just like be immediately cutthroat and just like a complete raging. But he's the same way. And like, I don't want to fight fire with fire, but sometimes I just can't bite my tongue and I just can't shut up. Like, I feel like I have to win, but he also feels like he always needs to win. So what would your best advice be on that? Thank you guys, and I love you both so much.
We kind of talked about this a little bit before. I mean, not like to that extreme, but kind of, yeah.
Yeah.
I think just like the guy needs to just shut up and just like stop.
Trisha and I were literally talking about that. Literally, like sometimes it's like you just want the guy to be like, you're right, babe. Right?
Just end it. Just let it die.
But I have dated a lot of people. I actually would venture to say that until Makoa, every single person I ever dated was like this. And I'm like this. And so I would almost date people who were more like me. You know what I mean?
Same.
And we would conflict it out. And I had to realize my triggers. I had to realize patience as well. And like just more empathy, being more forgiving, trying to understand how the other person feels. But it is hard when you get to that point where you both think you're right and you talk it out. You know what? Honestly, my advice is if he's a good guy and you still want to stay with him, like cool off time is very important. And setting that boundary. Like, hey, if we're both going to do this, let's take a couple hours and come back with our logical points and come back with how we feel. Like, it's not like we have to let it go. But I think a lot of times if you immediately go into it in the heat of the moment, a lot of shit ends up being said that you like don't need to say.
Yeah, absolutely. And I feel like even when I cool down, I like, one, you can communicate better, which is like so much better. And also two, is like sometimes you think like, okay, it's not that important, I can let it go. Or it's like, no, I like have to make it. But both things happen. Like, I would say I'm in the wrong 90% of the time, but there are the times, the 10% I am. And like Moses will come around, which like he doesn't always, because at first he can be pretty. When we like butt heads, he can be pretty. But then it takes like a couple days and like I can see his point, I can see what, So yeah, the heat of the moment nothing ever gets solved. Ever.
Yeah, I couldn't agree more. I feel the exact same way with Makoa. Like, yeah, like we're both kind of debaters, not necessarily arguers, but like we'll both want to say our points. And I always just think for any situation with any relationship, I had to like really learn that cool down time. Even just with everything, coworkers, friends, like, oh my God, it's so important because the worst feeling is walking away from something and thinking like I said a bunch of I don't stand on.
Oh my God, that was me like my entire life. Like all those videos I made were just like heat of the moment. And God, it's like once I sleep on something, I'm like, I always regretted it immediately. Like any videos, anything, like even if they deserved it, even whatever, it's still like, damn, I wish I could have just like chilled for a second because I had to really, So it takes time. And I don't know how old you are, but I know in your 20s, it's like hard to do.
I think that it was 24 or 25 frontal lobe for me where I really realized that. That's even something that I would want to tell my younger self. It's like, diva, cool off.
Cool off, take a breath. I mean, I was up to like my 30s arguing with like people and just like fighting all the time. And it was like, like no control. It's just like a lot of things people have to deal with. But yeah, no, just stay calm. And then pick your battles too. I mean, we were just talking about before, like, Mose and I had a fight over, like, if butter noodles are healthier than non-butter noodles, and he's just like, they're kind of the same thing. Because I was like, oh, I had noodles without butter, it's healthier. He's like, it's the same thing as if you ate butter. I'm like, no, it isn't. There's like more calories obviously in butter. And we like really went head to head on this for like, this was a couple months ago. We talked about my digesters, but it was just like one of those things. And we were like arguing, and I got like actually pissed. We were on a walk, and we just like stood silent for the rest of the walk because I was like so pissed. But also at the end of the day, like, it doesn't matter.
We talked about over butter noodles is so iconic. I will say it being over butter noodles is so iconic, but that's real as well. Like, I was just telling you, Makoa and I like had one where like we were debating about the drive times from LA to Big Bear, LA to Mammoth, and LA to Tahoe. And we did not agree on just road trips in general, like the amount of time. And in reality, that's the dumbest thing. But then it's like you keep going back and forth.
Yes.
And then it's no longer about the thing, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
It's about like,
why are you arguing with me? Why this is so stupid? Yeah, just like let it go.
Yes, and and then you're pissed, and then whatever.
Yeah.
And it's like sometimes you just have to mute that convo.
Yeah,
and like just give it a sec. You know,
but there's like certain things that like that matters. Then like give yourself space. Other things.
Yeah, that really is my advice to you. Is I think you guys should have a conversation about cool off time, and then bringing back those discussions, because sometimes you got to stand on what you stand on, and same for him, you know. But yeah,
I have a really crazy ex-boyfriend, and when we broke up, first of all, he cheated on me, and when I broke up with him, he started calling me from text now numbers and like calling me from no caller IDs and blowing up my phone, harassing me, and I found out that he like did some really crazy stuff. So I unblocked him and kind of reprimanded him for it. And then he stole $90 out of my bank account. I don't know how he hacked my card. But anyway, my question is, would it be wrong for me to put up flyers all over my city with his number on it? I was thinking of doing like Peter Griffin laughing impression contest, like win $1,000. Like, obviously, I'm not giving anyone $1,000, but I want people to blow up his phone. So, thanks. Love you guys.
I love her.
God.
Oh.
Should I dox him everywhere?
Right. I mean, first of all, Diva, you can make a Craigslist ad for something for sale for cheap, and like it's faster. You don't have to put the
still around?
Yeah. Oh yeah.
That's
like couch
wild.
for sale, super cheap. He'll get hella calls. You don't even have to leave the house. But something about putting the flyers everywhere is kind of camp.
That's wild.
Yeah.
That's, as you would say, diabolical.
Truly diabolical. Here's the thing, I guess. I don't know. It's like when you do toxic like that, you're still in the cycle. Sometimes I do understand that you just need to get your comeuppance, though. Like, you know what I mean? Comeuppance.
What's that?
Like revenge.
Where did that word come from?
I have no idea.
You just made it up or you know it?
No, it's a word. It's a word.
Comeuppance. You're so smart. Oh my God. Comeuppance.
I'm probably using it wrong.
I love it.
But like sometimes I get it. Like you want to feel like you got your lick back, right? Like, you know, but just know that if you're getting your lick back, you're still involving yourself in the cycle. Even unblocking him to reprimand him is just like, some men never learn. Him stealing the $90, relatable. I've dated a lot of people who would or have done that.
Yeah. Yeah, I agree. I think we talked about this before, maybe like the first episode. It's like, it does feel so good. Lord knows I was like, I'm making a video to destroy everyone's life, but it really just like brings that toxicity right back to you. It's like a karma boomerang effect where it's like you put it out and it's coming right back to you. So
yeah, I think that like vibrating above it, being on that frequency will attract almost other people on that frequency too, and that's what you deserve.
Are you reading The Power of Now? Did you start reading it?
No, I haven't yet.
That's so crazy. The frequencies and the vibrations is like, wow. That's
Wait,
amazing. Yeah.
That's good.
Yeah.
I need to, yeah.
That's why I was wondering if you started. Oh my God, that is so true. And like, yeah, if you're vibrating at a higher frequency, like everything just like aligns that way. And like, yeah, if you're like involved in the toxicity and the back and forth and everything, like you're just stuck there. You're just stuck there. Even though you could be like the best person and you're trying, but it's just like, and I know it feels so good to like just like jab back, but
yeah,
it does. Like the high road is so hard. I hate taking the high road. I hate it so much.
Me too. I couldn't agree more. That's the thing is it's like I hate it. I've quite literally wrapped people's cars with my face. Like I've done the most insane. I did that. Like I've done the most insane on planet Earth. But the way you feel after is like, yes, it's funny and you laugh with your girls and like whatever, but you're still on that plane and it's better to just like actually never talk to him again, you know?
And you see, I feel like, again, like, I feel like I'm a good example of it publicly, where it's like over time people start seeing it, and then you're just like, okay, they're like, maybe they don't see it in the moment, you know, when I make videos about people and they're like, oh my God, Trisha's so crazy, and oh my God, what a psycho. But then like later on, they're like, oh my God, Trisha, I kind of see her point. Oh, look at what happened.
Let her
like,
cook.
Yeah, so I think like over time, truth comes out. He's exposed as an awful person. He gets what's coming in a way that you're not even involved.
I always also say, and it's kind of a cruel sentiment, but I do always say it, is sometimes people's lives are their own punishment. Like he's going to go on to continue to date people on his level, and he will get what's his, and your life is your own reward.
And your hands are clean. Yeah, you're like not involved.
Yeah, and like quite literally, yeah. Like, girl, that energy for the Flyers, like,
love it.
I love it, but like, learn a hot new makeup look and go out. You know, I believe in you. Me in 2025 says no. I will. Me in 2021 would have said hell yes.
Yeah, burn it to the ground.
Yes,
yeah,
you know. So it comes with growth, and I get it. It's a life learning experience. Sometimes you got to do that. But I recommend not.
Me too. It's better that way. One more. Let's do one last
more.
one.
These questions have been
You
wild.
look like you're at an office, like taking meetings today. It's so cute with the coffee. I love like coffees when you just have like meetings and just.
I agree.
It's so
the
cute.
coffee and the glasses, the little socks. I feel like my little collar. I feel like a businesswoman.
You're giving Emma Chamberlain at Chamberlain Coffee right now.
Ooh, okay, but it's giving Tana Mojo at Starbucks, which is a big difference.
What's the trashiest coffee chain you think?
Ooh.
Dunkin'?
Well, Dunkin's
really?
Like, I feel like it's like.
Gotta get my Dunkin'.
I feel like that's kind of bouge, right? Charlie, D'Amelio, Sabrina. I feel like it's bouge, no?
They have had, it's gotten like bougier over the years, like back in the day.
But it used to be
kinda,
trash?
No, I've always loved Dunkin', but I get what you're saying. Like, pizza's just bad. Pete did not know how to brew. Every time I've ever had pizza, at least, it was bad.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Coffee,
So you don't know.
I love
I
coffee.
do like Dunkin's coffee though, because I like cream and sugar.
Dunkin's, it's like crack. I like literally cannot drink it. My heart is like, ugh, every time I eat it, drink it. Yeah, it's crazy. Anyways.
I get much unhealthier things at Dunkin' too. Like at Starbucks, I'll get like a cold brew.
Oh, yeah.
At Dunkin', I'm like, give me that milk. Give me that sugar.
Hash brown mini.
And the
That
little hash
aspartame.
browns are great. And they have little munchkins coming out for a spring in the buckets.
Oh my God. And the wake up wrap. Oh.
Okay, that sounds good.
Okay.
All right.
All right.
Last question.
Hi, Tana and Trish. Love you guys the mostest. Tana, are you going to Coachella this year? And also, do you have any tips for first-time goers? Thank you.
Fun one.
Trisha, have you ever been to Coachella?
I've been to Coachella parties
Yeah.
once, and it was awful. And I went for like an hour, and I was like, I got to go back home. Bye.
It's so funny because you know what I love about you is like the things you like, and the things you hate, like you stand on. You know what I
Coachella
mean?
sounds like my worst nightmare.
Like,
Like
even-
just crowds and dust and people on drugs. It's
It
like
quite literally is that. It's
Yeah.
so funny how much I've changed, but even like the Tarte trip when I was trying to get you to go, you're like, Diva, we can go on a trip. Like you just like, you know what you like, and I love that about you.
Yeah.
Because a lot of people are very like indifferent, and like, you know, I love that about
and
you.
I like influencers in general. It's not like I hate them. I'm obviously an influencer, but it makes me cringe, and including myself. Like I just like it's so cringy. But I'm also cringy. I will be the person asked most to take a picture of me here. But just seeing it, I feel a little embarrassed for everyone, including myself, if I did that. So
I agree with all of that. Actually, it's so funny
You
because
shouldn't. You should, like you should live your best life and take pictures everywhere. I do love
I
it.
agree.
But
I agree with that. But
I
like,
get embarrassed.
like it's 15,000 steps. You're inhaling so much dust.
Yeah.
So 15,000 steps a day. Like actually, like the crowds are insane. The influencer scene at Coachella is truly diabolical. I talked about this a lot last year. Like, and I used to live for this. I'm saying it shamelessly, but like this past year and the year before, it's like influencers go and they wear their outfit and they take their photos and then they go spend the entire time at the VIP bar clout chasing. They don't even like experience Coachella. Like,
what is the experience? The music?
the music and vibing with strangers and laying in the grass
see.
all
They
day
don't
and
do
like
that.
Ferris wheels and going to all the booths and trying the food and like actually
There's
experiencing
food at
it.
Coachella. I've never seen
There's
anyone post
really
about
good
Coachella
food. Yeah,
food.
that's what I'm saying. There's really
crazy.
good food. Like people's priorities, especially influencers, can be kind of whack at Coachella. So I've definitely changed a lot about it. Like this is the first year where it's like, it's so weird because Coachella is like a cult. Okay. Like I don't know how to explain it, that once you start going, it's hard to get out of that. Like the way people pressure you into going, the way you, me at least, feel the need to go. As an influencer, the relevancy, like I feel like I need to like go wear the outfits and like see the things and podcast about it, and people love the Coachella vlogs and whatever.
I
like
see. fear of missing out on something.
Yes,
maybe.
the FOMO of Coachella is almost more of a to-do than actually Coachella. Like, because if I didn't go, I would have so much FOMO. But then when you go, I went sober this year too. It was a sobering experience to see it for what it is. Like, so now I think my advice is like, do everything for you. Like, go see the music, see the people you want to see. Trying to get your 15 friends to do the same thing doesn't work. Get your 3 girlies and don't give a if you lose everyone else. And like, take the mushrooms, girl, you know, wear the cool pants. Like, just, if you're going to do it, really get your money's worth too, because it's so, you know,
expensive.
I have so many friends that they do golf cart passes at Coachella.
Okay, what's that?
And it's like you pay to have someone on a golf cart, because it really is like 20,000 steps minimum a day, which is so
skinny. I love that.
Yeah, but like the way you feel like your foot's gonna fall off, you know, and then
crazy.
God forbid you wear the wrong pair of shoes. Last year at Coachella, I paid someone $1,000 to switch shoes with me on the spot. Like,
Did
I
you
was
have
like,
heels?
no, I just had a bad sneaker that like blistered me up. But the golf cart passes that all these like celebrities and artists take and whatever are $15,000 a person. So like I have 3 friends who are doing that, and I'm like, y'all are spending $45,000 to get golf carted from set to set. Like, that is some, and it's crazy the tiers of expensive like.
Well, that's why James Charles took the Sugar Bear hair pass. He's like, well,
yeah, you need
save some money.
You need that gummy. Like, it is like, holy.
Brand deals in exchange for something like that. I'm sure someone
I do.
would.
Oh yeah. I always, Brooke and I have this bit where it's like, if you see me promoting like an air fryer before Coachella, like in April, mind your fucking business. Like, you don't have to buy it. Just know a girl's got to do what a girl's got to do. The brand deal, it's so funny. Like, my standards get so much lower April 1st.
Yeah.
Like, I am just a little,
what
I'm down
can I
for
take? Give me brand Prime, give me Lunchly.
Yeah,
like,
all of it. Oh, that'd be top tier in comparison to some of the I've done. Oh my God.
Where do you stay and how do you like travel into Coachella? Like, what do you recommend there? Like, are you camping in the parking lot? Like, what are you doing?
A lot of people love the camping. Okay. And they have the glamping. I could see you loving that.
I do it every year.
Really?
Yeah. Like the glamping camping, because it's really bougie and it's nice too to be on the property, because it's like going to Coachella is like an hour in traffic minimum to get there, even though I'll book a house that's 1 mile away from the festival and it will still take me an hour and a half to get. And then even the furthest you can go in a car, you're still walking miles to get into the festival.
Oh my gosh.
And like all of that. It's like, I guess my advice is find a cute place to stay with all of your friends and just accept defeat in all of those ways, because the fun does kind of outweigh it.
Yeah.
And yeah, I always get a house with my friends, and I do it really bougie. It's very expensive. There are years I've spent hundreds of thousands of dollars on Coachella. Now I'm lucky because I've made a lot of bougier friends to split those costs with me.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like,
but for people who can't afford it, they're just camping.
and you don't have to do the bougie. No, the camping's really expensive.
Is it?
Yeah, the cheapest way
Nothing's
probably.
cheap in Coachella.
Nothing is cheap. Even like a GA, even if you did Coachella as cheap as possible, you're still gonna spend $2,000.
It's like the Met Gala.
Like $3,000, yeah.
With like food and
Food, outfits, like card, even just like, it's crazy how much money people make too. Like someone will buy a ass condo in Palm Springs and then make the whole year's mortgage on 2 weekends of
friends
Coachella.
do that, yeah.
Yeah, because it's like it can quite literally be a 1-bedroom apartment, and during Coachella weekend in Palm Springs, they're going to charge you $2,000 a night.
Get a condo down there.
I would, honestly. I want things other places, but eventually I would.
I do love a Palm Springs, like the Kardashians, like where they have that. What is that place called? There's like a bougie place in Palm Springs, like La Quinta, and it's like so
yeah,
bougie.
they have Palm Springs is so bougie.
I love Palm Springs. It feels like old, and I like that. Like, it feels like old people, minus Coachella weekend, but I like the old people vibes.
You know what it feels like to me is like Elvis Presley and his girl, like, and Priscilla, his girl, hello.
Well, he had other girls, I'm sure.
That's true. They had like the craziest retro vintage house.
You seen it?
Yeah, like all of Palm Springs to me feels like that. Like you're transporting to a different time.
It definitely is. I think that house is actually for sale right now, the one in Palm Springs that he had with
Yes,
Priscilla.
it is.
And it's, I want it so bad.
Yeah,
but
it's insane. It's so beautiful.
I would love to live in that house. Yeah, it is that vibe. It is like the 60s.
Yeah.
Just Don't Worry Darling, I think, was filmed down there, and it's just like
Best movie ever.
the vibes for sure. I like it anytime except for Coachella.
Yeah, right. I completely understand. I feel like I was a little too hard because like I'm quite literally going this year, and I do love Coachella. There
I'm
are
going back.
some of my favorite memories in my entire life. All the after parties and the parties and stuff are at Coachella, and obviously you keep going back because the good outweighs all that. You just have to immerse yourself.
You know what I'll say? As a non-influencer, it's so different, my experience versus yours. Like, we're there for the music. In fact, so much so that we will stay away from main stage VIP.
Yeah.
Which is all that the influencers stay at one stage. Meanwhile, we're going back and forth to 8 different stages.
Wow.
And that's what you do. Like, Devin is 100% right. I was very caught up in the influencer scene of it all, and like getting best dressed and like just all that bullshit, networking and like making my vlog good. And like, it's about the music, and it's so sick. Like Lana Del Rey last year at Coachella was one of the most beautiful moments of my life. I was sobbing the entire time. It was so amazing.
And you're just like in the crowd with everybody.
Yes, and like people really, any artist that's performing Coachella, it's such an honor that they give a show that they're never going to give again in their life or anywhere else. Like, and you get put on to so many new artists. Like last year, I became a Peso Pluma super fan. I didn't even even think I like would vibe with that. And I was like, his set felt like almost like a ritual in a good way. I was like, oh my God, yes, Peso. Like, it, like just, it is really cool. Like the music.
Go in disguise. All your friends go in disguise.
That is so true.
crazy.
I should disguising myself is more, but I think, do you know what my problem with disguising yourself is? Is that you're then essentially saying like, it's like an ego thing. Like, it's like, I think I'm Beyonce. But then obviously I get it.
People do recognize you. I mean, Coachella especially, I'm sure that's like your Mecca.
Yeah, I have to bring Big Chris. Shout out Big Chris. He's my bodyguard, and he comes with me to Coachella because people are insane.
Yeah, no, there's
Coachella.
Certain places that you just like need. I feel like any other place I'm fine. Disneyland, I'm like, I have like 3 security because it's like those are my people, and I like love it. But also like with my kids, you're just always just like yeah. But like it does. You do feel cheesy because we talk about this like imposter syndrome too. It's like it feels a little cheesy to be like, let me have security because like who gives. You know what I mean? Like
my friends at Coachella will straight up be like, Tana, I love you, but I don't want to go in GA with you. Like we're gonna start. It takes me an hour to get somewhere that it would take someone 20 minutes. But I love it. I love meeting all the girls and seeing their outfits. But yeah, I guess maybe a little wig could be fun. But then it's like, see, shut up.
I think a lot of people get like recognized, like even like the influencers, like just like random TikTokers, you know, they get like it's just a world now where people just like recognize people, and it's cool. I get excited when I recognize people. I like don't go up anymore, but like I love recognizing someone. If I see Britney Spears around town, I'm just like, that's Britney Spears.
Yeah,
and I like
agree.
whisper and doing all that annoying.
So
and
fun
like,
though. Being a fan is like the highlight of life. Like I think people,
I love it.
People who, on people for being a fan is so corny because it's
so
like
corny.
the most
That's
joyful
why I like the
thing.
meet and greets because it's like so fun because it's like you're all there to meet each other.
Yes, and like just freak out and like that's literally what life is about.
I do meet and greets all day long. The Donny Osmond. When we go to Donny Osmond, we'll do a Donny Osmond meet and greet. I will stand in line and talk to him, and like that's cool because like that's where it's like set up for.
100%. I couldn't agree more. Adam Sandler has a meet and greet tomorrow. I'm going.
I was like, he does. I'm like,
we'd be there.
I would be there.
Adam, please, just one.
We'd love to have you on the podcast.
Yes. Oh, we love you.
Oh, well, I hope that was good. That was a fun one to end on.
Yeah, that was a really good one to end on. This was it's so awesome, the range of questions that we get from you guys. Never stop calling. We love you.
Never stop calling. Call us here to ask us your questions today. We're about to go to our Patreon and do an extended episode where we answer your spicy, saucy, sexy questions.
Yes.
Go to patreon.com/notloveline.
Yes.
See you in the next episode.
Skull emoji.